Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm super glad to be back on YouTube and getting right into it. Today I'm going to be walking you guys through how to wholesale real estate in the year 2020, and I want to talk specifically about the year 2020 because not all the strategies that have worked a couple years ago will work in today's market. I'm no expert, but I'm going to share what's kind of been working for me and what I kind of plan to be doing this year as well, just to give you guys an insight. If you were curious, if you wanted to kind of model the same business model as you could say, but again, I'm not going to say too much more about it. It's pretty much more of a generic video. With that said, stick around for the entire thing because there's nuggets throughout the video, I guarantee it. And let's get right into it. So a couple seconds before I start, again, I said this is going to be a very general video. So if you guys want to see a more in-depth thing where I really kind of outline an entire business plan for the year 2020, pause the video right now and comment down below real estate. It would help me out. I just really don't know what you guys want to see or at what point you guys are in your real estate journey, as I imagine most of you are just starting that's coming to this channel or watching this video. So the first thing that I actually want to talk about is doing your homework. A lot of you always have the questions, and even I did in the beginning, of where do I find the right information? Because there's a lot out there in any industry. There's going to be things that people will say that aren't necessarily true and people that are true. And the biggest thing in this industry is that I found that has brought me checks and brought me money is learning from other people's mistakes. You'll make them yourself, but at the same time, I learned a lot more from case studies rather than just watching a YouTube video, where YouTube is a really great place to kind of get that basic knowledge. The second would be Facebook groups, which is probably my favorite. So I check out like the All In Wholesaling Facebook group, Maxwell's, I think it's called Wholesaling Elite or something like that, and it has like 90,000 members, and there's probably 100 posts a day in there. But I literally will take 20-30 minutes every single day and just read through people's experience, see what's working for them at this current time, because things are always changing in this industry, but at the same time you don't want to get too overwhelmed. And then the last case would be courses. So myself, I don't have one, I never took one, but if you want to get more of an experience, I'd recommend going the whole route of mentorship, where somebody's actually sitting with you one-on-one, laying out a business plan, because this is a very simple industry, but you can make it go very wrong by trying too many things at once. So get somebody, if you want to go that route, the paid route, find a mentorship opportunity rather than a course, in my opinion, and you'll see a lot of success. So the second point, and probably the most important in the entire video, is picking a marketing stream and basically sticking with it. As I mentioned before, the reason people fail in this industry is because they try too many things, especially in the beginning, because they get overwhelmed. They think direct mail is the best, they think cold calling is the best, they think driving for dollars is the best, and then other people think all of them absolutely suck and they'll try something else. But there's kind of two paths you can kind of go down. One would be like the driving for dollars, door knocking, where you don't really have to buy a list, and that's where I had started personally. I know other people that started on the other side of the spectrum, which is more where you have to purchase a list, and both are great, both have its ups and downs, but that includes like cold calling, direct mail, RVM, text blasting, and that's again where you're buying a list. And if any of you are watching this video, I have built connections over the past few months where if you want to buy a list, I can get it pretty much the cheapest on the market. So go down in the description if you want 3 cents per record, which is dumb cheap. Shoot me an email. Again, that email is down in the description, and I'll hook you up with a really good discount if you want a list. And I'll kind of walk you through how exactly what criteria you want for the list. I know if this is a very like one of the more beginning videos you've watched on YouTube about wholesaling, you won't know too much about it, but if you have questions, shoot me an email down below and we'll kind of get you set up with your first list. You can go out there and make a huge bag on your first wholesaling check. But another thing that I want to talk about is planning around a budget and working backwards. That's where I found success, especially in the beginning. It's all about systems and processes in wholesaling real estate. So once you pick that marketing stream, figure out how many deals you want to do with it, and you can kind of work backwards with how many how many actual leads you're gonna need, how many records you're gonna need, how many skip tracing records you're gonna need, and a lot of that becomes more in depth. So again, if you guys want to watch that video, or you want me to make a video like that, comment real estate down below so I know, and I'll more than happy do that for you guys. Again, I'm no expert, but I'll give you what's kind of been working for me. So working backwards worked really well in this industry, figuring out, because it's all a numbers game. And then the last thing is, a lot of you will have questions of like, where do I track my leads once they start coming in after I start doing some marketing? Well, I use the free version of Podio. There's obviously upgraded versions, and there's some systems where people sell where you can have a really cool Podio setup, but that's not really necessary, especially in the beginning. If you're only getting a few leads a day like myself, just go to Podio, Podio.com, and you can sign up for free, and it's just a great way to track your leads, and you can set up your own system for free on there if you're kind of the tech savvy person as well. So what happens after you actually get a motivated seller at the door or on the phone or over a text message? Well, it all comes down to negotiating a price. Those formulas, it's pretty simple. I'm not going to talk about it now, but you can go into just look up wholesale real estate formula on Google, and you'll find a pretty basic thing of how it works. It really depends on the market, but a lot of the times you're just taking like what the price of the home would sell on the market right now, which is called the ARV. You're subtracting I'd say usually the 70% rule. So times that by 0.7, subtracting any like repairs and your fee in there, and that's basically your max offer. And again, if you guys want more info about that, it'll be probably in a more detailed video later on. And then once you agree on a price, you use a purchase and sale agreement. You're actually not using an assignment agreement, which a lot of beginners think they use. It's called a purchase and sale. You get a pretty general one, and then basically you kind of go from there. You have it under contract, and now you start marketing it to a few buyers. After that, pretty much the last point in this video is, once you have a deal, a lot of people talk about building a buyer's list. You don't really need a buyer's list. That's not what you should be focusing on in the beginning, especially if you're just starting out in this industry. Just go out there and talk to people, try to find leads, try to get motivated people. And it's not going to happen on the first touch a lot of the times. A lot of these times you're following up. But once you get a property under contract, if you know it's a good deal, you've done your research using comps on like the MLS, you've asked a realtor for it, or if you're just good enough to do it yourself, literally just start marketing the property. And there's kind of 3 places you could do it, which would be Facebook Marketplace works really well for me, Facebook groups, or you can even go the paid route and do Facebook ads. You can kind of see a trend there. Every deal of mine has been sold through a personal connection or a Facebook kind of advertising, and if it's a good deal, it'll sell. You don't have to worry about finding a buyer's list. You build that list over time as you do deals. I never do a lot of deals with one person, but it's good to have a solid reputation with a few people. And then once you get that person to commit, I literally don't ever even show the property anymore to anybody. A lot of people get concerned about walking through the property. What are the homeowners gonna think if you're wholesaling it, because you're not a realtor or anything. But I literally will just take really good pictures, a few good videos, and I'll send it off, and a good buyer won't even need to see the property, especially if it's at a good price. And I typically will get an earnest money deposit, which is basically a security that they're actually going to buy the property, anywhere between $2,500 to $5,000. If you're in like more of the East Coast market, it's probably going to be a little bit less. You don't want a $20,000 home with a $5,000 earnest money. It doesn't really make sense. I'd probably go maybe a couple $100 in that case. But I know I'm a little bit talking here a little bit fast, but if you guys didn't get all that, just kind of rewatch the video, take notes, because I know these are a lot of nuggets all at once. Again, this isn't super in depth, but at the end of this, you're picking up a check. It could be anywhere from $5, $10, $15, $20, $30,000 I've seen up to people getting for their first check. So, which is pretty life-changing. That could literally be an entire year's normal income in one check. It's a super cool industry. Don't think it's easy, even though I make it might seem easy. It takes a lot of work, but that's basically how you wholesale real estate in 2020. If you guys did like the video, I appreciate you liking it and subscribing to the channel, because This year, my goal is to hit 50,000 subscribers. I know I can. There's a bigger audience for real estate. We just have to start pumping out some good content for you guys, things you guys actually enjoy. I'm listening to your advice. Whatever you guys want to see in another video, let me know. Again, if you want to see a more in-depth video or anything specific, comment real estate down below. Give me some video ideas and I'll make sure to do my best to get those over to you guys. And with that said, I appreciate you guys being here and I'll see you in the next video.